Welcome to the kiwimana Day.
Good morning, it's Gary here, and this is live from the Beekeepers Q&A, first one. So we're trying to see how this works and how it goes. And great news today that the Home Depot in America have decided to phase out neonicotinoid pesticides. So that's great news for all the American beekeepers out there. It's fantastic. So if you've got any questions, just chime in. I see Hershel's trying to get in there, so you just seem to be trying to get in. That's good. And I've got some questions from the week that we can talk about. And we'll just see how we go. The first question we got from, these are from emails that came in. How much oxalic acid do you need to treat a beehive? And traditionally, we use our oxalic acid vaporizer, and we use 1 gram per full-size box. And so that's, 1 gram. And 1 gram is about 1/4 of a teaspoon. I'll just try and get Hershel to come in here. Hey, morning, Hershel.
Good morning, Gary. How are you?
Oh, I can't hear you, but I can see you.
Okay, well, let me see what I can do about the volume.
All right.
It says I should be sending you volume.
Yeah, still can't hear you, Hershel. Well, we'll read another question. And we had another question this week about if you want to split a beehive, should you have a queen in there? And I would say yes. Hopefully Hershel can join in and add some wisdom as well. But I don't know how you can split a hive without a queen, unless you've got really, brand new eggs or something. It's crazy.
Yeah, I can't think of any other way, Gary.
I'll just make a message here. Yeah, and this is the time of the year that people are splitting beehives, and they are worried that the bees have got no queen. And we had a call the other day about a guy that he was wondering how long he should wait, and I would say at least 42 days, because sometimes the queen is not mated yet, or if you have an issue with bad weather in the area, you could have it. You can actually, the queen won't go out and go mating. So, and what else did I suggest to him?
All right, I'm trying to hear a thing.
Yep, and so I think you've really got to wait about 42 days from when you first started. So it's good to see some other people joining, so that's fantastic. If you've got any questions, just go /Q, and hopefully Margaret will join us later. She's just getting ready, so.
Ooh.
And we've got another question here from someone about how to purify beeswax. Now, this is a common question in the beekeeping world, because we end up with a lot of wax, especially the cappings of when you extract your honey, you have to take the cappings off the frames. And so I have been doing some of this lately, and I can show you this thing here I've got. I'll show you. Basically, this is it's a container. There's some wax inside it there. Oh, sorry. And what I do is I put the cheesecloth underneath on top of the container, like this. And I put this lid over here, and I pour the wax into there so that it goes through the cheesecloth. And then what you end up then is there's a big block of wax like this. And you'll find at the bottom, you see all this black gungy stuff. What I do then is I just scrape all that off, and I repeat the process till it's completely a big block of wax. So that's from last weekend, so I've got to redo that today. So that's one way to do it. Another way we do it on our website is you get all your black cappings or your old crappy cappings, and you wrap them up in a cheesecloth and put them at the bottom of a really big pan, like an old cooking pan. And you can just do that and put stones in it to weigh it down to the bottom, and then all the wax will go through the cheesecloth and go to the bottom, up to the top. Sorry, put that down there. So that's another way to do it. So that works really well. And if anyone else has got any better ideas, give us a call or dial in. Yep, and Hershel's still trying to work on his computer there.
I'm trying.
You'll have to learn how to do sign language, Hershel. I think what I've heard is see the top in the address bar at the top is like a little camera. You may need to click on that and say allow this page to use my microphone and camera. I don't know, that might be it. But since your camera's working, it probably is all right. So
yeah, I don't know what it is.
Yeah. From the top of the bar, and there's like a little picture of a camera next to like a star on my one.
I don't know what it is.
And welcome there, Gary. Gary, the Frisbee guy. Frisbee guy. Is that Frisbee or Frisbee as in bees, Gary? And if anybody wants to join, just join in. I think you just click on. Click on join in, so it's a bit easier. So we're finding this thing's a bit easier for other people to use it other than Google. Like we used to use Google Hangouts, but I think a lot of people were confused by it. So this seems to be a lot easier than that. And so what's everyone out there doing with their bees today? I think we're going to go out and split our hives at the moment. We've got a couple of really strong hives. I don't know if you follow us on Instagram and Twitter, but we had a picture there of massive hive and it's overflowing with bees. So I suspect they're going to split. They're going to swarm either today or tomorrow. So we're going to have to split those guys today. Yeah, that's the other thing. Hershel try to refresh. So Hershel was trying to get in. So if anybody wants to come in, there's an open seat there. If you've got a question about beekeeping, join in. Yeah, another thing is if you click on the left-hand side, there's a thing called Tell a Little Bird. So if you can click on that, that'll tell people on Twitter that the talk's going on. And the other thing I'd like to know is how's this timing for you guys? I mean, this is like Saturday morning here, but what time would you guys prefer? I mean, we can try and work around the majority of people. Okay, so this looks like there's 31 people watching. That's impressive. Yep, so if you guys want to join in, just click on join. Oh, welcome Hannah from Team Blab. We're giving this. Oh no, I think we're okay. One of our callers, Hershel, his mic's not working or something, but it sounds like more like his side. So we're just trying to get him on here. No, I don't think there's a lot of beekeepers on Blab, so we're trying to fix that. Yeah, that's what I said to him. I says, you have to, in the address bar at the top, you've got to click allow this page to view your camera and stuff. Oh, okay. What is your, okay, he's coming in now, so I'll tell him that.
How's this, Gary?
Hey, Hershel, what a sec. I'll just check something here. We've got a lady here from Blab, and she says, can you, Hannah, can you hear Hershel?
I don't know. Could you hear me? Oh, okay.
Oh,
She said she can hear me.
it's probably me then. Wait a minute. This is comedy gold. Wait a sec. So whereabouts do you set in the browser, Hannah? Where do you set the microphone? Okay, we'll just check that. Oh, that's better. Can you hear me now, Hershel?
Oh, I can hear you fine, Gary.
It was my fault. I wasn't listening to you guys. So thanks, Hannah, for all your help.
Thank you, Hannah.
Yeah, that's great. We this is our first blab, so we don't know what we're doing. Well, it's good to talk to you, Hershel. I mean, I've only talked to you via Twitter and Facebook and stuff, so it's awesome. So how's it going down there, up there?
Well, it's going pretty good. Of course, I'm working night shift, so this time works great for me until I get back into the office, and then of course during the day like this, I'll be working. So.
Oh, fantastic! Oh, that's good. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to pick a time that everyone around the world can fit in with. So,
Well,
if we
with you
can,
having worldwide audience, it does make it a little rough.
yeah. So maybe we'll do them at different times, so we can try and pick up different people or something.
That sounds like a great idea.
Yeah. And how are your bees getting on then? Are they all set up for winter?
Well, I don't have my bees yet. I'll have them in the spring. Matter of fact, I was sitting last night at work in a little bit of dead time and trying to figure out exactly everything I need to pick up the last minute here before spring hits, because I don't want to be in a rush.
Oh, that's right, because you're just getting into. I remember that now. You told me, sent me an email, didn't you?
Yes.
Oh, that's fantastic. Well, just spend winter learning and read a lot and you work stuff out. I mean, you're never going to learn everything. You're just going to have to hit the ground running, unfortunately.
Well,
Hit the ground and do stuff. So.
Well, I tell you, I'm really fortunate in the fact there are people like you and Kevin, the Beekeepers Corner, and a number of great resources online, awesome books. So I mean, it's just a world of information out there, and it's sometimes a little overwhelming when I start reading it all.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think just start slowly and just work and just do what because the thing is the bees are always good at being bees. They're a lot better than we are, and they can fix a lot of issues and stuff. So, but just get the basics right, and just don't try and crazy experiments the first year. You know what I mean? Just try and keep it basic.
I'm definitely wanting to keep it basic. Matter of fact, I'm looking forward to Michael Bush is going to be up here. When is it? Oh, like in March, doing a day-long session with the Beekeepers Association out in the Shenandoah Valley. So I've already got my ticket and ready to go. My wife said that's fine. She'll go shopping while I'm tied up that day.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, he's a great teacher, isn't he? I really, really enjoyed talking to him when I interviewed him. Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah, he came out. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, it's all right. You talk.
Yeah, he came to the Shenandoah Valley last year, and I watched the videos that they posted, and they were absolutely fantastic. And so that got me hooked on, wound up buying his book, and now I'm going to go out and spend a day and listen to him and see how much I can absorb.
Yeah, no, he's a good guy. I do enjoy his book too. I think it's really good. Got some good ideas out of his book, and yeah, I mean, I think the thing is a lot of it's common sense stuff that he talks about, which is really good.
Yeah, I think as I read through some of the stuff and some of the kind of crazy stuff that's out there, it's like, wait a minute, that's already been tried. It worked for a while but failed, and especially when it comes to his ideas about the varroa mite, small cell foundation. It makes total sense.
Yeah, yeah. No, absolutely. No, I totally agree. Oh, well, if you get to talk to him, say that Kiwimana says hi, because
I will definitely pass along your regards.
yeah, because he was in Australia about a month ago, and yeah, and so it's a shame. If I'd known, I could have probably popped over and said hello, but
There's still time.
Oh yeah, we want to go to America. We do want to do that one day. Go and have a visit and visit everybody and.
Well, I'm still waiting to have the cup of tea and some chocolate biscuits with you.
We're looking forward to it. Just we need to sell more honey and stuff. Sell more beehives.
There you go. Well, I tell you, if you do get around here, matter of fact, we just had a friend visit here last week. She came out for Thanksgiving weekend. Unfortunately, I had to work, and when we planned the visit, I did not know I would still be on the night shift. So I got to see her all of about 3 hours while she was in town.
Yeah.
But my wife took her around to all the tourist sites here and all the history, and she's been enjoying it. Is that Margaret I see hiding?
It is. It's Margaret's shoulder. She's in a dressing gown style.
Margaret, I just want to say you're awesome.
Yeah. Hershel. Yeah. He just said put the headphones on. Hershel just said that you're awesome.
I'm still asleep, really.
Still asleep.
Well, that's okay, Margaret. My daughter is now hooked on listening to you all.
Oh, awesome. Fantastic.
So we listen on iTunes when we're in the truck.
Oh, awesome.
Cool.
And now that
everyone's happy.
Yeah, now that the new episode has come out, she and I are going out this afternoon. Don't tell my wife, but we're going Christmas shopping for my wife. So my daughter and I will be listening to the latest episode while we're out traveling around.
Cool.
That's fantastic. So are you going to buy your wife some beekeeping equipment?
I've already bought her a suit, and I'll have to share some pictures with you, Gary. She was hilarious. She put this thing on. My daughter helped get her dressed, and they started messing around. Next thing you know, she's playing with a hive tool and a jar of honey and acting like she's eating out of the jar of honey with a hive tool. It was a riot.
Yeah. And is this the daughter that was just on doing a news report or something the other week?
Yes, that's my 12-year-old daughter, and she. I was trying to get her to go with me and work on a friend's bees, and she got totally upset with me because she didn't want to wear her mom's bee suit. She wanted her own, so I had to go buy her own bee suit.
Oh, awesome. That's fantastic! So she's right into it as well, then.
Oh my goodness, she's in here. She's like, Daddy, we need this and we need that. And she's reading, she was reading The Backyard Beekeeper the other day, and she's going through and finding the recipes for like lip balm and things like that. Oh, she's into this big time. Wow. She's all excited and that she's going to be taking video and pictures while I'm working in the hive, and she's really excited about it, and I'm glad to see that.
It's fantastic.
Yeah. The thing, is that you can do so many different things in the beekeeping field, and everyone's just so interested in it. They just beekeeping is so interesting to people. They're really fascinated by it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I have one of my professors. I found out he was a beekeeper, and he told me, he said, he happens to be a pastor at a church, and he said that he found that working with the bees was absolutely one of the greatest stress relievers he ever found. He just enjoys working with his bees as a great hobby, and of course the honey doesn't hurt either.
Yeah.
No, exactly. Yeah, I think it's all about you have to be in that moment, and it's kind of like a very Zen thing. And if you're thinking about other things, they'll tell you about it,
Well, one of the nice things is, with me in the pressure cooker job that I'm in, it's very nice for me to be able to come home and be able to play with the bees and have to slow down. I can't go at my normal speed. It will make me slow down, and I like that idea. And I'm looking forward to it. I just hate that I have to wait through the winter, but got started a little late, unfortunately.
Oh, it's okay. I mean, the best time to start is now, isn't it, really? So you can't worry about that,
Well, it actually worked out well for us because we, while we were out on vacation, we'd seen this apiary sign, and we had driven past there the year before, and we decided last year we were going to stop. We stopped in, found that the guy was former construction business owner, and he actually went in and talked to us for hours. The little stop we had made for 15 minutes of going by and picking up a jar of honey wound up lasting 2 hours. But he makes his own woodenware there, and they were works of art. And some of the observation hives he made were just unbelievable. So we want, when we go back on vacation this year, to pick up one from him, although he does 10 frame, and we're going to kind of focus in on 8 frame, but we do want to get one from him just for the simple fact that he is an awesome guy, and we want to cultivate a further relationship with him. So we'll have a nice contact out there.
No, that's awesome. You got to support your locals, don't you? Absolutely.
Yeah. Keep it local.
Yeah. Well, no, he is actually in Tennessee, but he's close to to where my mom lives, and we go out there every year for my family reunion, things like that. So we've been in that area for a long time, and so we want to definitely support him because he's just a super cool guy. 78 years old, and we asked him, how he enjoyed it, and he did not plan on starting out as a beekeeper. He actually went into construction. His father was a beekeeper. After his father died, he got all the hives, and the next thing you know, it took off. He tried to retire, and his son didn't want anything to do with the bees, so he's continuing on with the bees, the honey, making the woodenware, and he's just a really awesome character to talk to, and we just enjoyed the time we spent with him. And
it's awesome.
He volunteered. He told me, he said, I'll spend time with you. Here's my cell phone number. Call me if you have any questions. I'll do whatever I can to help you. So it was really an enjoyable time, and it left a really good impression for us. So then we wound up deciding we were going to go all in after that.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I think it's awesome to meet these old guys out. I need to get some more of them on the podcast. Just tell them about their stories and experiences, and because it's priceless, isn't it?
They inspire, eh?
They do. Absolutely.
Then, I think they had a time in beekeeping when it wasn't as stressful in the sense of varroa and that kind of thing, and a lot of them have had to really change what they're doing because of those new challenges that we have here in the 21st century, whereas in the 19th century it wasn't you could sort of have a period where you could just leave the bees alone, and you can't do that nowadays.
No. And going back to what you said before, Hershel, about you think it's too late to start, but we just got a guy. How old is he? 82?
84.
84, and he's just started beekeeping now. We gave him a swarm.
Yeah.
We talked about him in the last podcast. So the guy's name is Rod. So
he's the same. He was a cabinet maker, and he rang me to say that he wanted to get bees, and he said, I've built my hive, and he built a bench hive. So I went to visit him, and he's made all the frames. He's doing them without foundation, so they're straight drawn comb from the bees. And we got him a swarm, which we did on was that the one on Periscope?
Yeah, that was live on Periscope.
Yeah, and it was just, they're lovely bees, and now there's 2 colonies from that, and his daughter has got the split. So she's got the old queen, and his colony's raising a new queen. So yeah, and he's amazing to see all his beautiful woodware.
Yeah, that's good. I think we're going to have some. Yeah, well, I think we did. We sent some photos out on the newsletter, because you get the newsletter, eh? So there's some on there.
Yeah, I get the newsletter. I just haven't had time to read it as much as I'd like.
Oh no, that's okay. That's all right. You'll get to it.
We've still got you high on the points rating.
Well, that's good. Yeah, that's good, because I tell you what, through all of these episodes, I've just enjoyed it, and it's it helps me immensely, and then plus it also helps me get to know y'all and regard you as friends as a result.
Yeah. We have the same. We enjoy people who are like-minded and want to, save bees, and we just have a lot of fun too, because you don't want to get too serious about it, but I do sometimes.
That's what we call a tangent. Is that what it is?
It's a tangent.
I have a few of them.
And welcome, Vicky. Vicky's joined us. So hi, Vicky.
Hi, Vicky.
Where are you calling from? She'll type in a minute. Yeah, absolutely. I think you're very brave for listening to all of our podcasts, Hershel. I mean, if we ever get any T-shirts done, we'll get you one. I've listened to all of them.
I tell you what, they've been great, and like I say, I've learned a lot from the 2 of you.
Cool.
I've learned the proper way to say bananas and awesome, thanks to Margaret. And just really, like I say, enjoy it, and it's something that my daughter and I can share together as we prepare for starting work next spring and with the bees.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Yeah, so I mean, does your daughter think we're a bit nuts, or is she happy with us?
No, she thinks it's great. I mean, she really does, and she'll ask me, because sometimes you guys will mention something she doesn't understand because she's not read enough yet, and so I'll explain to her. So it gives us that time to interact, and I'm very thankful for that, because with kids her age today, they're more interested in their electronic devices than they are having conversations. So I'm very thankful for that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. I think
that's magic.
Yeah, we had one of our beginners is buying a colony from us, so we had a visit to the apiary, and he brought his daughter Victoria, and I mentioned it on the website. I mean, on the last podcast, that his daughter came along, and she was just coming to have a look, and now she's so excited, and she's like, wants this, and they're going to get her a suit and all this sort of stuff. So she's very excited, and you should have seen her face. It's the new generations that are coming on. I just really hope that we get heaps more younger people interested. So it's very exciting to see them come on board and so fascinated by it and just loving the experience and, realizing that they can be quite brave around the bees. So that's one of the things I noticed is that they feel so proud, and I gave her a frame to hold and she didn't have gloves on or anything, and she was like big eyes and big smile. It was awesome.
Oh no, that's awesome. We try and do all we can to encourage young people to get into it, because
they're our future.
They're the future of the bees. Really, they got to be the ones that take up the battle, the mantle or whatever.
Yeah, I think in the case of Emma, I've told her that next spring, if she finds that she enjoys it and she's comfortable with it, I will buy her own 8-frame hive and bees. So she's seriously considering it. I told her that she can move at her own pace. Don't want to push her. At the same time, I don't want to scare her away or anything like that. Just let her see that it's going to be a lot of fun, and she's already trying to figure out, like I say, how we could do it. When we talked about trying to figure out how we wanted to make a label for honey, she's already drawing designs. She's really into it. She's just jumped in with both feet.
That's fantastic. Oh, that's great.
Yeah, I think that you're talking about an 8-frame box. Is that still Langstroth type, or is it a different kind of hive box?
No, it is Langstroth.
Okay.
Because that's what Michael Bush uses them a lot, eh?
Yeah, he does. And, one of the things is I'm looking is, and I was surprised. Allison, my wife, said, "Hey, I need to learn how to work these bees in case you happen to be gone on a business trip or something like that, or at a conference. So I need to know how to do these things." And so she's actually jumped in. And Emma and I are teaching her. She's not as much on reading the bee books as we are. But Emma every now and then will say, "Mom, there's this video Dad and I watched the other day about this," and she'll have me pull it up so Allison can watch too. And she's decided that she's got her own bee suit, and she's decided that if something needs to be done and I'm not here, she can do it. And that's why I wanted to go ahead and move to 8-frame, for the simple reason is because she's not able to lift great deal with her being disabled. So I'm just going to, accommodate her. And, if I have to use 2 mediums instead of 1 deep, so be it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you want to make it that's one of the things we say to a lot of beginners. Sometimes you think you're saving a bit of money on something, but you really need to get the right thing, because the more comfortable you are, the more likely you are to make everything work. And I think you feel more rewards because you go out there and you're able and confident and make things easy for yourself, and we try to teach that as well, because that's where you'll find success. If you make it too hard, or you don't get the right suit, or you scrimp on tools, then you can really just make your experience very difficult. And a lot of people, if they do that, they don't sort of stick at it because they get too bogged down by struggling.
Yeah, get frustrated, don't.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's awesome.
Yeah, I think.
So how many people have been a day? I think the video is dropping out of the whatever.
I think.
Yeah,
I think Hershel's frozen.
Yeah, and it says I got poor internet signal, and you've gone to audio only.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we had that for a bit.
Yeah, last night we were trying to watch Netflix and it kept stopping because we're quite rural here, so it's sometimes their internet's not that great. Because so that's not much good.
It does struggle.
It struggles all right. Yeah.
way down here on the bottom of the world.
Well, we have the same problem here at times, and of course, when I talk to our internet provider, it's always check your computer first, and I'm like, the computer didn't change.
Yeah, exactly. Because you're in Virginia.
Yes, I'm in Virginia. I'm near the coast. I'm right outside of Williamsburg, Virginia, which we call the Historic Triangle. We've got Jamestown, where the first permanent English settlement was. We have Williamsburg, which was our colonial capital. And we have Yorktown, which is where we beat those bloody Brits in 1781 and got our independence.
Yeah, they're troublemakers. They even come over here.
They did. They came to New Zealand as well. But we didn't. Oh, no, the locals did actually have a war with them, actually.
They did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They weren't too happy. So.
See, Gary's family, his family is English.
I won't hold that against him.
Yeah.
Yeah, my family's Dutch, from Dutch in Amsterdam. That's where both my parents were born and grew up, and immigrated here. So it's interesting times.
Yeah, my family.
Exactly.
My family came to the States here in 1846 from Switzerland. They were recruited.
Wow.
They were recruited to come here by what they called a colonization company. They bought up thousands of acres of land and recruited people from Germany and Switzerland to come there. And they actually went in and they had designed their own little utopia, that they were going to build a colony that was self-sufficient. It had everything from, I think for the colony, they had like 4 or 5 doctors, piano makers, cigar makers, all kinds of craftsmen, everything. They were going to be self-sufficient, and it worked well until the Civil War. And then the Civil War, then it brought a lot of strife, and the colony just kind of dissolved. Some of our family moved away, and others of them stayed right there.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Wow, it's amazing you know the history of it that far, right? It's great.
Yeah, I went through, I still am interested in my family history. I just don't have time to work on it anymore. But, I was able to trace it back to Switzerland, and the farthest one I was able to chase back was 1780. And after that, the records become unreadable because they're in some dialect that nobody speaks anymore.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they kind of like speak a lot of German in Switzerland, and the Swiss German kind of.
Yeah, they're in the canton of Graubünden, where my family's from. They speak mainly German and Romansh, which is a local dialect there, which is one of the 4 official languages of Switzerland.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a beautiful country, isn't it?
I have not been there. In my travels around the world, I never made it to Switzerland. I've spent more time in France than anywhere.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh no, that's good. Well, what do you do for a
Well, I work for the local government here. I'm the computer-aided dispatch administrator for our 911 system.
Okay.
Well,
I maintain all of the computer equipment, and then I've got a bunch of other jobs. And unfortunately, we got shorthanded, so I wound up having to go back out on the floor and show them that the old man can still do it. And
Yay!
I'm now the most senior person there. I've been there longer than anybody. I just passed 25 years working for the county. So.
Wow, well done.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
That's a job in itself.
Yes, it is, but I'm very fortunate to have a wife who's supportive and keeps me as stress-free as possible at home so I can handle the stress at work.
Yeah, that helps, doesn't it?
Yeah. And then the bees, all those
I'll
girls.
tell you what, I'm just itching to get in those bees here. And, I was looking the other day. I'm getting a package and 2 nukes, and so I was looking, and the packages are supposed to be here sometime in March, but I don't know when. So I'm sitting there just, twirling my thumbs, saying, "All right, hurry up, and get here for March."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's that's one of the things that with the beginners we actually do our artificial splits, and then it takes 5 to 6 weeks to really see if the queen is starting to do well, and we also wait to do cell checks for their health and that before they're allowed to go. And a lot of the beginners, they're not sure whether they really are getting a beehive from us, because it's taken so long, and in this society we want everything yesterday, and it doesn't work that way with bees. So we do have to learn a lot of patience, and the rewards are worth it. But I've got 2 colonies that I'm trying to build up now from extra queen cells that the girls have raised, and yeah, I'm just patiently waiting for them. They got eggs now, so
yeah,
waiting for the build up.
Absolutely. No, it's all good.
The 2 nukes I'm getting is from a guy who collects swarms, and he is going to overwinter these, and I'll get them in the spring, and then of course the package will be coming from somewhere down south, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Oh, that's fantastic. Oh, that's good. So are those? So they'll be swarms.
Yeah, they'll be.
So they'll probably have.
Yeah, there'll be an older queen.
Yeah.
But I've seen the guy who I'm getting them from. I've seen his work. He does well. He's he takes a lot of pride in that, and he wants, he could have very easily have sold them last year, but he prefers to, after he collected them, but he prefers to overwinter them to make sure that they're viable, and I applaud him for that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think that's fantastic, and we need a lot of beekeepers like that. I do struggle with some of them that because things have gone a bit crazy here in New Zealand with beekeeping, and a lot of people are selling bees in a way that is, when you're a beginner, you don't really know what you're getting, and they're often getting colonies that are just so small, and just luck would get them through for the weeks, but a lot of them have failed, and I do worry because the price that they're charging is just incredible. And I think, some people are exploiting beginners, and I'm not happy about that, but I don't know what we can do, really.
I think the problem comes in is they're looking more at volume than they are at quality. Just like Michael Bush has pointed out a number of times, is they're trying to pump all these bees out and get as many as they can out, but they're not really paying attention to how they're breeding and the strengths and the viability of them. They're just pumping out anything they can to meet the needs for people who want, a package or a nuke. And that's why in this case, I went totally kind of out of the mainstream to get the nukes from Rob, because he doesn't advertise. I knew of him. I went to his website and sent him an email and said, "Hey, would it be possible for me to get a couple of nukes from you next spring?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, not a problem." And so we've been in communication ever since then. He's quite an encourager, and told me, I told him, I said, well, it's going to be kind of scary pulling, these two nukes in and starting them out. He said, that's okay. He said, when you buy from me, he said, I'll be glad to assist you in any way that I can to make you successful.
Yeah, that does help, the after sales stuff.
And I think that's the mark of a good beekeeper, someone who is going to give you that support. And we often, say to people that just ring us, we're at the end of the phone. If you need to talk, have a chat with us about what's going on, and then we can work with them on their individual need, because often they go to bee clubs and the bee club talks very general, and there's usually so many people there that they can't really get their individual problem, addressed. So having that personal support when you sell a colony is very important, and I think that's the mark of a good beekeeper, making yourself available.
Well, I saw the individual attention that you give to people when I read the blogs, so I have to applaud you for that.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it's sometimes hard, but we like to do it. So
we do have times where we're so busy we sometimes are a bit neglectful, but we try to let people know that it's not because we don't want to, it's just that things are busy this time of the year, so we're often out there, in the field, and I can't always answer on my phone.
Well,
we can't take phone calls when we're in a beehive.
Like I say, I applaud you because you guys have done a great job.
Gary does so much work. He's always working on making things better and trying to, keep in touch with everyone and put good content out there. So we try to have good products, good content, and try to be available. So, I think we endeavour to do our best. Sometimes we fail. Sometimes it doesn't work, but, we do our best. So
yeah, absolutely.
It's our intention.
Yeah, and I think these Q&A sessions are going to be quite good. I think we'll, get some more people involved in it, and it should work out well, eh? So we'll you're still there, Hershel? I think Hershel's dropped off.
Yeah, I think the internet's playing up a bit. And how long was this session going on for?
We're gonna finish up now.
Okay.
Well, thanks, Hershel, for joining us. It seems that you've dropped off, but we'll he's gone. Well, thanks for joining. Oh no, he's back.
The joys of modern technology.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna. Yeah. So we're gonna wrap this up now anyway. So thanks, Hershel, for joining, and thanks everyone else that joined in.
And good luck with all the training for the family, and enjoy.
Absolutely. We can see you there, Hershel, but we can't hear you or see you. So anyway, all the best. It's time for breakfast here in New Zealand at Kiwimana HQ.
We might have some bananas.
Absolutely.
Banana
are going to be on the menu, and we will see you guys all later. I think this is going to be available on YouTube later on, so if you guys want to watch it again, you can. But until then, we'll see you guys later.